Good morning and welcome to my tutorial on how to do a key fob on Windows. I don't have a Mac, and using SoArt. But first I'm going to show you what paint is. Somebody doesn't understand what paint is, and it's actually a really wonderful, simple, and usually free tool on Windows. So you go into your Programs button. I'll try to get in there good. And hopefully, if you can't see it, hopefully I can at least explain it to you enough that you can find it. So go into your programs. Oops, it was already up. And then you're going to scroll down. You're going to see all this stuff that's on your computer. You scroll down to your accessories. And in accessories, there's going to be a little program called Paint. Okay guys, Paint is open, and Paint is just a simple, digital tool that you can create pictures in, and you can also import pictures into it and do some photo editing. It's not like Photoshop, but you can do a fair amount of fun stuff in Paint. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you how to make a key fob. This is this big old, gives you a giant screen so that you can work on anywhere that you want. I like to work up in the corner because I know I'm going to crop it. So first thing I'm going to put is the rectangle that is going to be the loop part for the key fob. Okay, so in SoArt, when you place a shape, you can click on it later and move it around, but not in Paint. So that's why it's kind of a pain to do it in Paint, but it's the best place if you want to be able to choose a lot of different fonts and stuff like that. Okay, so, and don't worry too much about your sizing when you're in Paint, because we're going to size it for the machine when we get into SoArt. So now I'm going to make a circle with blue around it. Okay, and the reason that we put the rectangle down first is because we're going to round out the bottom of the rectangle. We're going to turn it white, but we can't really do that until we place the circle. Okay. Alright, so now we'll go up to the fill tool and we'll go ahead and fill that. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Sorry. I want my fill tool to be white because I want to fill in that part. See? Okay. So there you go. You got your little lollipop looking thing. It looks like I'm off a little bit. I am. But this is how you do it in Paint. I'm going to show you all over how to do it in SoArt. So this is the text tool. Go up here to A. And then you click inside wherever you're trying to type. Oops, sorry. And we'll put Mom. Oops. You gotta change your colors. Okay. Let's type in Mom. So it gives us this big open thing to use, but we don't usually need that much room if we're doing something small like on a key fob. So then you click right on the above part, and you can move it around and space it and stuff like that. Hopefully you guys have played around in SoArt or somewhere in school growing up, or just on your own computer and you found something like that. So this is basically how you make the image in Paint. Alright, now I'm going to go over to SoArt. Okay, I don't want to save that. Alright, so I'm going to open up SoArt 64. And I like to go into the view and click on grid. I love the grid option in SoArt, especially when I'm doing stuff like this where precision matters. And then I'm going to go ahead and resize it ahead of time. I know that my machine really likes anything under 100, so I like to keep it around 95 to 95 and not let either the height or the width go any more than those. And that's stuff that I've recently realized that I can take care of before I even start my image, so I'm really happy about that. Alright, so once you're in SoArt, you just come over to the shapes part, and we're going to put the rectangle down first, but in here it's going to be a square. I'm just going to put it right in the middle, and it's going to show you on the grid where your 0 is, where the middle is between everything, sorry. And from there, it's really helpful because you can see where it is on all sides perfectly. Okay, so, and it doesn't really matter how long or how tall you make it back there because you're going to cover it up. Okay, so let's go ahead and fill the middle with white. Let's just make it easy. Now we're going to do a circle. And let's make it about that big. And we're going to come down here and we're going to line it up with the 0 again. But we're going to cover up that top guy. Okay, so there you go. Super simple. Now we'll go into crop and make sure that it's as close to that as we can make it so that it comes out as best as it can. Oops, sorry, jumped ahead of myself. So it brought it down a little bit, but I'm going to bring it back up to 95. Anytime you crop, it changes what your size is. Okay, make sure that there's only 2 colors, blue and white. And then I'm going to come over here to the stitch image button. It's the little sewing machine. And I'm going to go to outline center line. If you do outline border, I can't really show you without screen recording software because this isn't that great, but the outline border will make it where your bean stitches right here and right here. So you have a double bean stitch all the way around, which is, I guess, probably kind of cool, but it's not what you want realistically if you're trying to make the key fobs like what you see other people making. So we just want to go outline border, and this is set over here to running stitch, which is still a nice stitch, but the bean stitch is just so cute. So we're going to go to the bean stitch, and on the height we're going to change it to 4, and this is actually going to be the separation between stitches. And I've been playing around with the bean stitches, and I set 45 at the one that I made yesterday, which is on my keychain, and I'll go get it in a second. And I like that, but today I tried 25 and it was actually kind of cute. So we're going to do that one today on this. So then you just set those and you click on your blue, and it's going to put it all the way around. Oops, that was my mistake. Did exactly what I told you not to do. It needs to be an outline center line. Okay, so try the height again. 4 and 25. Okay, so then you hit stitch, and it should just have one nice continuous long stitch that goes around. One thing, one change. Over here, sometimes it doesn't change what you've done, so you have to double check and make sure in your side panel, but it looks like it was okay. Everything stayed the same. Alright, so once you've done that, like I said, it's super simple. We're going to go to save as, so we can make sure we know. If you want to save a picture, here's the time to do it. I don't ever do that unless it's something that I want to put on Etsy, but I'll just go straight to computer and into my removable disk, oops, which is what they call your machine. It's the removable disk. And I already have some stuff in there, but this isn't too big of a file, so hopefully it will, well, I guess it is a big file, but hopefully it'll be enough room. So we're gonna do key fob, and I always like to put my settings. So 425 bean. And I'm not consistent with exactly how I do it. I just do whatever's on my mind that I know is gonna remind me. So we'll save. Okay. And then here's your little stitch out right there. Now, if you want to put an image on it, then doing that in Paint as well is probably the best. Or if you have an image that you want to put on it, do that first and then do the key fob around it. So, okay, I'm getting way ahead of myself. Okay, actually, no, I'm not. So do your image separately. If you want to do it all in SoArt, you'll have to do it in Paint first, put your image into this grouping, because I'm not quite sure how to add an image in on top of this without ruining everything. I haven't got to that point yet. So if you have and you've worked that out, please leave it in the comments or make a tutorial for the rest of us. That would be really awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna hoop my fabric and get everything ready, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got my fabric hooped. I'm gonna go get some vinyl. I've actually got some oilcloth here that's really pretty. It's just plain white. I'm gonna use that today. And oilcloth is really cool. It's waterproof and it's very shiny. And it's what you use to make really pretty rain jackets and stuff. So this is what I have. It's just, you know, just simple oilcloth that I bought at the store, at our local store that does upholstery. So they have tons to choose from. So I'm gonna just use that today on the topping. And I'm not gonna bother gluing it down like I did with my first one, because this is just a simple stitch. If I was going to be doing any kind of image or anything like that, actually, let's go ahead and do it, an image, or just one letter. We'll do an S. Oh, well, actually, I don't know where to put it. So let's go into our machine, upload it. And it only wants one color, thank goodness, and it's as big as it can be. Okay. Okay, so there we go. That's the top. So I was going to just do it all as one and then let you guys, you know, add your image in later, but I think it's really fun to do that anyways. So I want to just add an S into that. Okay. And it's probably a little bit big, so I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. Okay, I'm still working on my spacing using this machine, so don't judge, but if you're going to do lettering or picture or something, now's the time to do it before we glue the back on. And on anything that I've been using the bean stitch on, it's been leaving that last little stitch undone, and I don't know why. So maybe that's something that somebody else can help with. Alrighty. Okay, thank you. Lock that off. And then we're going to grab our spray glue over here to the side. And I'm gonna spray some, place some pretty glitter felt over the back of it. It's black. I think it's pretty anyways. I don't know if you can see it. Alright, so since I did that, now I'm just gonna go back out. Okay, go back to my removable disc. I'm gonna upload my design again. I'm gonna just lay out, size it as big as I can, and then I'm just gonna press play again. And right here it's gonna sew the back on, right over the top. Not have been paying very good attention to the sizing. Oh, no, that's fine. I don't know why it did that on the top this time. Oh, I accidentally made it smaller, not bigger. Okay, well, that's what I did. I'm not going to redo it or redo the video just because of that. You guys understand what happened. It's all sewn on the back, maybe off a little bit, but you can still just cut around that. So there you go. There it is on the back. All sewed on. Hold on one second, I'll cut it out. And let's see. I'm just going to cut around where that first stitch was, and hopefully you won't even notice that I made a mistake. And the cool thing about using the garden batting, I guess I didn't say that earlier, I use, not batting, but garden fabric. All my scraps of the garden fabric I just put in a bag and I'll be able to use in my garden still. So it doesn't go to waste. It's nice. Alright, so there's your key fob. And you just put your snaps in. First you put your little thing in there, and then you put your snaps in, and then they clip. Or you can sew them with your machine, sew straight stitch across the top. I would probably sew it a couple times, but yeah, there you go.